I think one of the big questions that we have out here is, hey, what's the difference between closing costs and a down payment? Because most of the time we have a mindset of like, hey, I can put X number $1,000 down, or I can put X percentage down, but they're not the same, are they? What's the connection there?
No, they're not. And in fact, it's a very, very good question. We run into it all the time, in particular for people who are, haven't bought homes before, first-time home buyers. And even those who have bought a home or two in their lifetime, it's still not something that everyone has a good grasp on. It's only really the folks who've bought maybe several homes in their lifetime that have a pretty good idea what the difference is. Because very often I'll be approached by someone who wants to get qualified for a mortgage, and they'll have a particular down payment amount in mind, 5% down, 10% down, 20% down. And when I start the discussion with them, one of the things I usually recognize early on is that in their mind, when they say, I want to put 10% down, and they're buying a home, or they want to buy a home for, say, 500,000. So in their mind, they're thinking, I need 50,000 to complete the purchase. Well, I end up having to be the one to deliver the news that, no, that's not quite the full story. Down payment can be strictly defined as your purchase price minus your loan amount. So when you say you want to put 10% down, and again, if we're using a $500,000 purchase example, yes, the down payment is $50,000, but that's not the full story. Why? Because you're going to have closing costs. At least you are in most cases, which we can certainly talk about that as well. And so the idea here is you have to distinguish between closing costs and what I like to call cash to close. They're two different things. Again, down payment, purchase price minus loan amount. Very straightforward. It's cut and dried. Pretty easy calculation, right? Cash to close is your down payment plus your closing costs. And your closing costs which we covered recently on this program, your closing costs can include basically two major components.